Good afternoon, everybody. We will begin in next 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, so I think we should start here from here. So good afternoon, everybody. Welcome for today's Bazar pe Charcha session. Let's start. So before discussion, the most important disclaimer from our side that whatever we are going to discuss it as an example, please consider it as an example purpose. Please do not consider as buy or sell recommendation in any form of manner, any form or any manner. Okay. Now, this is the overall current market scenario, including major indices as per O'Neill methodology of market direction. As per O'Neill methodology, our benchmark index, that is Nifty 50 and Sensex, both are into correction mode. Apart from Nifty 50, another 2-3 major indices like banking, financial, and IT. These 2-3 major indices, once again, which comprise to almost 50% of Indian equities, is also in correction mode. Apart from another major, that is pharma, realty is under pressure, metal is under pressure. Only one major index which contains reliance, that is energy and FMCG, is in rally mode. But even though it is in rally mode, but technically it is not looking that much attractive. But yes, as per O'Neill methodology, it is in rally mode. So let's move on chart so we can discuss further in detail actually. So let's start from Nifty 50. So as Nifty 50, if you remember in last Bazar Pe Charcha webinar, I have clearly mentioned that in my opinion, that next phase of correction is starting now, and market is behaving in exactly same manner once again that we have expected in last Bazar Pe Charcha. Now market has breached key moving averages, almost key moving averages, trending below 200 the exponential moving average, trending below 200 simple moving average. Momentum on multi-time frame chart like weekly, monthly is also showing some downtrend because slope of momentum indicator RSI is in downward sloping on monthly chart. This placement of momentum indicator RSI on weekly chart shows that market we have entered into midterm kind of correction, and likewise on daily chart also, and moving averages also suggest that right now, even though there is a death crossover is already placed on daily chart on the basis of 50 DMA and 200 DMA. So after considering all these factors and everything, at least in my opinion, market is not looking that much attractive, and most probably in next few weeks and few months, market will remain traded like this way only, volatile and choppy, and slowly and gradually, maybe week on week basis and month on month basis, it will remain traded in negative trajectory only. Now, if I talk about levels point of view, so in last Bazar Pe Charcha webinar, I have mentioned a level of 16,800 in downside on 17,400 on upside. That unless and until it is trading below this range, 16,800 to 17,400, it is in sideways and falling below 16,800. I can say that if first downside window will stop on toward 16,500 to 16,200 kind of levels. Now, yesterday, after this surprise move happened from RBI governor about rate hike, that is a repo rate hike as well as CRR hike, and same it is followed by this FOMC also, Federal Reserve. So, and FOMC has also increased the 50 basis points rate. So it is why it is, even though market has reacted positively, US market, because they were expecting more than 50 basis point, but they have cut only, they have increased only 50 basis points. So that's why they have reacted positively. But for us, we have not expected too early. We have expected that maybe in June they are going to increase, but they have increased this interest rate, key interest rate, at least 1 month early, and because of that, market has reacted suddenly, or market has reacted in that manner. Or now it is trending below 200 exponential, 200 day moving average technically, and that crossover is also there. So what I'm trying to say, now market is trending below 16,800, so it will remain in pressure only. If it will cross and hold above 16,800, 16,800, 900, then only we would consider as a sideways kind of range. But once again, sideways with negative bias, not sideways with positive bias. It will remain traded in sideways with negative bias, and only positivity will return, in my opinion, once it will cross at least 17,400. So unless and until it is trading below, in current scenario actually, unless and until it is trading below 17,400, I would say that it will remain traded with negative bias. Once it will cross 17,400, then we will start thinking once again that whether this is going to be turned positive or not. But meanwhile, it looks like that. And further, below 16,000, sustainable trading below 16,800 may may fall further from here, and in downside, in such case scenario, further falling scenario, 16,600, 16,500 to 16,200 kind of level can be achievable in next few days and few weeks actually, or maybe most probably in this particular month, in May month actually. And what next actually, if I talk about my midterm point of view, next 1 or 2 month point of view, then I am expecting at least 15,500 kind of level in downside. And if I talk about further correction, then I can say that 14,000, 14,500 range is a ideal level in downside. But obviously, it is not going to happen in a week or in a month. It will take time. In my opinion, once again, it will take at least 3 to 4 months to reach that particular level. That is 14,000 kind of range. So in short, what I'm trying to say, overall market structure is quite bearish. I'm not denying for that. And most probably, in my opinion, if I would not be wrong, if I am wrong, or I can say if I am right, then slowly and gradually this trend will going to deteriorate. So I would suggest everybody to take cautious approach in market while at the time of trading, and follow proper stop loss and everything. Of course, but at the same time, to be remain cautious. Once it will cross 17,400, then whatever I have given, whatever I have says just immediately, I would consider all my statement as null and void, and then I will start thinking once again in that way actually. So just keep all these levels that I have discussed with you about Nifty. Now, if I talk about Bank Nifty Bank, so same thing in Nifty Bank also. From the almost last 13, 14 months, Nifty Bank, except 1 or 2 months in between, Nifty Bank is comparatively underperforming to overall market, and it is still underperforming. So I can say that Nifty will remain Bank Nifty will remain, or financial will remain underperforming for the next few months. But at the same time, I am expecting from the level point of view, this 35,000 is a key level to watch in downside. It has still not breached that 35,000, 34,900 to 35,000 level. Once it will breach 34,900 or 35,000 level, then I can say that a further downside will happen. Sorry, in Bank Nifty. So likewise, if unless and until it is trading above 35,000, then I can say that it is trending in sideways. But but overall bias is negative in Bank Nifty as well, financial as well. And in such case, it will remain traded in the range of 35,000 to 38,000. Once it will cross 38,000, then only market will force us to rethink in that particular direction, that whether trend is changing or not, unless and until it will remain sideways with negative bias. And further, once it will breach decisively breach 34,900, then I can say that the further downside window will open, and in such case 1,000 to 1,500 fall, that is in such case 34,000 to 33,500 or 33,000 kinds can be achievable in downside in Bank Nifty as well. So once again, Bank Nifty is also not looking that much attractive. If you see, it is already forming high lower top lower bottom price formation, and second phase of correction has already started in Bank Nifty as well. And this is a major component of banking sector, sorry, our Indian benchmark index, that is Nifty 50. So I would say that this particular index is going to be a main main tracker of index, then whatever is going to happen in this particular index, that is Bank Nifty, same thing, Bank Nifty, the same thing will be visible on Nifty in Nifty as well, Nifty 50. So it is, once again, this Bank Nifty is also not looking that much attractive, sideways with negative bias, and further that I have level discussed, below that level further fall may happen in this particular. Now let's take another major index, that is Nifty IT, because as per O'Neill methodology, Nifty IT is also in correction mode. So almost last 6-7 months, I think November onward, if I'm not wrong, I'm consistently saying that most awaited correction is going to start, and it is happening like that way. Now Nifty has IT index has breached all 31,000 level, and it is trending below 31,000 level. I am expecting in slowly and gradually it may fall further from here another 10%. If I talk about from next few week perspective or a May month perspective, then I'm expecting 29,000 kind of levels. So 5-6% fall may happen from here in this particular index. But at the same time, after such kind of fall, some bounce back cannot be denied. So bounce back cannot be ruled out. So bounce back may happen, but overall structure is once again negative in Nifty IT as well. Even today, there are few IT stocks like Tech Mahindra, I think, have reacted positively, and it has gained around 4-5% into the trading system. But overall structure is still not looking that much attractive. So that's what I'm saying. Some bounce back cannot be ruled out from this particular junction, but overall negativity is there, and it will remain traded with sideways. So maybe next few weeks or next few months, it is ready to move toward 28,000. But before that, there are some support around 29,000, 29,500. It may take support around that level. So overall structure once again is negative. So in this particular IT space also. So please take note all these things. If I talk about level point of view, the level I have already discussed, and it is trending in sideways, that 29,000. From the current level, if I talk about 1 minute, so let me open weekly chart. So if we on weekly chart also, it has breached support and everything. It has breached a trend line as well. If I draw a trend line on weekly chart, so it has breached this particular trend line also. If I draw this Fibonacci retracement, so that Fibonacci retracement 38% Fibonacci retracement comes to 28,500. So that is why I am expecting 38,000 kind of range maybe happen, or maybe it may fall around 28,000 kind of level, because 38% retracement is there around. So 38% retracement in bull market is a quite healthy correction. So but obviously it is not going to happen in overnight, in a month or two. It will also take few months actually. So I'm expecting another 3-4 month kind of sideways with negative wise with correction in this particular IT index also. Now Rahi, my colleague Rahi, will take another 2-3 sector. He will discuss, then I will come back to you once again. Rahi, are you there?
Yeah, I am here. Thank you so much. Yeah. So yeah, I would like to talk about Nifty Auto Index, and then I will be talking about FMCG, realty, and energy. So first, go one by one. So this is the daily chart of Nifty Auto. So if you look at the daily chart of Nifty Auto, the entire setup of the chart is looking quite negative with sideways move, we can say, because for last 2 months has been very attractive, or it was very healthy. A buying interest has happened in this particular sector, but after the month of April, or we can say that when the May month has started, we have seen a selling pressure or profit booking has happened, and this profit booking is trying to continue for a while. So almost 3 or 4 trading session has been over, and still we haven't seen such a reversal or buying interest as of now. So as of now, if you look at the chart is not looking that much attractive, and actually the entire sector or entire this auto sector is actually trending with sideways with negative bias, and it is trending in a certain support range of, we can say, or in a range of 10,200 to 11,300. So in the downside, if we are talking about the level, from the downside, 10,200 is the support level, and once this support level is breached, then the index might accelerate towards downside. And for the fresh call, or for turning the sentiment to the bullish, it has to break out above 11,300 at least. So once this breakout has happened, then obviously we can take a fresh call in this particular sector, Nifty Auto. So now I would be talking about Nifty FMCG. So Nifty FMCG, if you have seen, if you look at this is the daily chart of Nifty FMCG. So what has happened actually in the month of March, that after hitting its low on 7th of the March, that is 33,404, the index has reversed its trend, because if you look at the candle formation that it has formed, it was forming continuously with higher high and higher low price structure. And if you look at the volume, then volume was also with above average volume. So we can see that there was quite a decent buying interest has been visible, and it has witnessed actually buying interest. And then in this due action, then it has also reclaimed its 200 DMA as well. And the index, which was trading below its all moving averages, it has reclaimed all the moving averages, and it had reclaimed its 200 also in this process. But what has happened here, that is April 19th. From April 19th, the sentiment was actually become volatile, and then from that day onward, the stock is trading in a volatile manner. So if you are talking about the level perspective, then in upside level is 38,600 to 38,700 level. Once this level is breakout, then obviously our sentiment will turn bullish. But so far as its support level is concerned, we can place a support around 36,800 to 36,700. And once the support is breached, then obviously this index might act volatile manner, and it can further accelerate towards downside. So this was Nifty FMCG. Now Nifty Realty. So this is the daily chart of Nifty Reality, and by looking at the chart, we can say that the index is trading with negative bias again, because we have seen some certain pullback has happened here on 8th of the March, and then it has reclaimed its all moving averages, and it was having a decent gain. But after hitting its recent high, which was placed around 482 on 11th of April, we can say, from that, after we can say that the recent high, the stock, we have seen some profit booking, and the stock acted in a volatile manner, and it has actually tried to deteriorate in the downside. And this deterioration is looks like it is continuing its deterioration as well. So if you are talking about the level, then we can, in upside, the level is like 480 to 490. So once that level is breakout, Once the index is reclaiming that level and sustaining above that level, then obviously our sentiment will get bullish and we can take fresh call in IT reality, sorry, in Nifty reality space. But in the downside, the first level is first support level is placed around 390, and when that support level is breached, that 390, then 370 will be the second support level, and breaching that support level, then further a new fresh downside window can open. So this is the story of Nifty reality. So now I would be talking about Nifty Energy. So we have seen those three charts, that was Nifty Auto, Nifty FMCG, and Nifty Reality. And those three charts were bearish. And we can see the difference here in the Nifty Energy. The Nifty Energy chart is quite bullish and there is no sign of weakness as of now. Yeah, there were three trading sessions back to back where index has witnessed profit booking, but we can't say that the index is sending a negative signal or there is negative vibe as of now. And the major reason that has happened is in this particular space, the two component actually, Nifty Reliance and Reliance Industries and NTPC, they have contributed a lot in this particular index, and because of that, this bullish momentum remain intact, and the sector was in the bullish zone and it was trending with bullish sentiment. But if we are talking about the level, as I told that there is no negativity as of now, but if we are talking about the level, that is 28,000. If 28,000 is breached, then obviously some more profit booking can happen at this level, and it can go further down from this side. But again, if we can see some bounce back happen and against the start it tried to accelerate towards upside, then I think it can go up to 30,000 or 29,000. First 29,000, then 30,000. But it will take some time. It will not go in 1 day or 2 days. It will take a week or a month. So this is how the chart of Nifty Energy. So Pawan, would you like to talk about some more index?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about metal actually. So Nifty metal, I think today it has closed around 6,200 level, 6,200 level, and most probably after almost a very good rally in this metal index, now there is some correction happening in this. 1 minute, let me share chart. Nifty metal. So yes, so it is closed around 6150 today's closing price, and so now after almost this rally from 5,200 to 6,600 kind of rally, 6,800 kind of rally, there was a this here particular 2 weeks back here, there was a evening star candlestick pattern formation was happened on daily chart. So I can say that after that correction started, but it is on daily chart. On monthly chart and on this weekly chart, it is not looking that much bearish. So I can say that it will remain traded in sideways with negative bias. And once it will breach this level of one major support is around 6,000. Once it will breach 6,000, then I can say that it may slip toward 5,700. I'm not denying for that. So time being, correction may happen for next few weeks actually in this metal index also. But at the same time, it is not looking that much bearish or as much as bearish like IT or reality or this financials actually, banking and financials. So yes, and another thing is that from the last last 1.5 year, I'm consistently saying that this metal index is in a super cycle bull trend. So still it is still it is in super cycle bull trend. I'm not denying for that. But yes, if super cycle bull trend does not mean that it may not correct for short term or mid term point of view. So maybe this time another phase of correction has started, like it started in this particular range from July 21 to February 22. Almost it remained correction or sideways with negative bias of correction for almost 8 months. So once again, after this, because market is also not supporting, but at the same time, if you talk about commodity prices and all, so overall commodity prices, be it metal commodity or other necessary commodities, all commodity prices are going up and up on month basis. So commodity prices still, I was analyzing chart last weekend on this weekend. So all commodity prices are still saying that it will remain buoyant, or obviously if commodity prices will remain buoyant, then obviously it is going to affect this metal prices. So it is not looking that much bearish or that much bad. It is not in that much bad shape. But yes, some minor correction may happen. I'm not denying for that in this particular. And most probably it will hold somehow. It will hold 6,000 or 5,700 level. Then it will give once again. It will give better opportunity to buy in this particular space. But meanwhile, it is looking. It looks like sideways only. Sideways with negative bias or sideways or not negative bias. Then it is in sideways only. Okay. This metal. Now last, that is pharma. Rucha, please open this chat box for ask query after this pharma, after 2-3 minutes. So pharma index, I would say. So pharma index from the last almost 1 year, actually, to be precisely. From the last 1 year almost, I can say that it is consistently underperforming. Meanwhile, also it is trending with sideways only. 1 minute, sorry. So it is trending in sideways only, sideways with negative bias and consistently forming a lower top, lower bottom formation from here. So and another thing is that share 1 minute. Another thing is that it is trending in this downward sloping parallel channel, and meanwhile it oh, sorry. So meanwhile, just few days back, only a few weeks back, only here, it took once again resistance around this upper band of channel, and now trending with the lower top, lower bottom formation here. After that, after touching here, so I can say that it is also not looking that much attractive. But at the same time, it is not looking that much bad as well. But yes, I'm not denying for further correction from here. If I talk about levels point of view, so level, this particular level, that level is 13,000. Unless and until it is trading below or holding about 13,000, there is no problem at all. If once it will breach 13,000 level, then I can say that the next level would be 12,500 to 12,300 kind of levels in downside in Nifty Pharma Index. And at the same time, if I talk about upper side, so upper side, this trend line matters actually. This particular trend line that I have drawn here, once again I am drawing this particular trend line. Once it will give breakout about this particular trend line, then we would start thinking that whether this particular index is going to give breakout in upside. So meanwhile, as such, there is no sign of breakout or breakdown. But obviously, once it will breach 13,000 kind of level, then 500, 600, 700 points correction cannot be denied in next 1 or 2 weeks or in this particular May month actually. Otherwise, it will remain traded in sideways only. So most probably it will remain traded in sideways only. Sometimes it will go to 300 points upside. Sometimes it will go to 300, 400, 500 points downside. So most probably it looks like it will remain traded in sideways. But please keep watching these levels that I have discussed with you. Apart from that, one more sector that I would like to say to everybody, there is query, Nifty Media. So Nifty Media as such, meanwhile, there is no point of discussion because it is in sideways with negative bias. So most probably it will remain traded with sideways negative bias. So keep watching that. If I talk about levels point of view, so as such, 1 minute. As such, it has breached this level of this particular here. That particular this moving average, that is 2100. So most probably it will remain traded with sideways with negative bias only, or negative, or I can say that to be precise, it will remain traded with negative bias only. And in downside, most probably it will fall further from almost 10% from here to 10%. 1850 kind of levels can be achievable in Nifty Media also. So this, I think we have discussed almost all major sectors. Now let's move on query section. So I think there would be a lot of queries that we have to discuss. So one question is asked by Prashant Belur. He is, how long and how deep the correction will be? When do you think the turnaround will happen? So see, Prashant, I have, when I was discussing about Nifty, I have already shared with the Fibonacci retracement and everything. And after that deepness, it is very to give answer of this, to give precise answer of your question is very difficult. But yes, even I also don't know, but I am expecting at least 3 to 4 months, in my opinion. 3 to 4 months. Generally, my past experiences says that generally correction happened for around 12-month kind of time period. If it will extend from 12 beyond 12 months, then 15, 17 months. So maybe this time also I am expecting that is worst to worst case scenario 1.5 year. That was happened in between 2000 to 2002. That was the single time frame that that correction was extended for more than 12 months in the last 25, 30 years of era. But generally, but if I talk about except that time period, if I talk about, then correction generally remain for 12 months around roughly. This time, if I'm not wrong, correction has started from last week of October. So if I ignore October, then November, December, January, February, March, April. Now 6 months has already passed now. So I'm expecting 4 or 5 months or maximum 6 months, maybe it will remain traded like that way only. How deep? Then at least I am expecting, or I am expecting around first 15,500, and once it will reach 15,500, then 14,000 kind of levels in downside can be achievable. It may change. I'm not saying it will happen. It may happen or it may not happen. But meanwhile, movement in overall market, data from global market, data from economy front, macro data and everything, interest rate, inflation, current this liquidity tightening from central banks, all this suggests that market will not looking, or market may not remain in attractive position for next coming few months. Even though this if I talk about Q4 numbers also, if you see the major numbers, Q4 numbers for major companies is also not looking quite attractive. And if I am not wrong, I am not that much knowledge of, I do not track that much exclusively fundamentals, but I track somehow something. So I am expecting that maybe June quarter would be much or far worse than this March quarter, and then it is going to impact overall market. So maybe I'm expecting 3 to 4 months or 5 months or maybe 6 months. So roughly I can say that 3 to 6 months it will remain. How deep? Then I have already answered you. Maybe 15,500 or beyond 15,500, 14,000 kind of levels. Now, let's talk BEL, Tata Power, IX. Let's start with BEL actually. So fundamentally, as such, there is no problem in BEL. As you can say that EPS rating, price trend, demand and everything. And another thing is that BEL, Bharat Electronics are now they have major product for defense segment. So that is why also after this war like scenario and everything, this stock is not giving correction and gaining month on month basis, and showing showing strength on month basis. So it is looking quite attractive at current juncture as well. But from the last two trading session, I can say that some short-term point of correction may happen, 5-6% like that in next 1 or 2 weeks. I'm not denying for that, but overall structure is quite positive in BEL actually. Now next is Tata Power. Tata Power. So there are, I was reading a lot of reports in the last 15 months and last 15 days actually. And there are a lot of opinion about this Tata Power. Few people are saying that it will fall up to 200, it will fall up to 200, 210 rupees, or some people are saying that it will cross 300. So, but in my opinion, and I would like to say my opinion, it may remain traded in sideways only, and it may fall further from here, 10 to 15% correction. So I'm expecting 225 from here in downside, and maybe beyond 225 further toward 200 levels. So meanwhile, it will remain traded in sideways with negative bias, not looking that much attractive to take fresh entry at current juncture. Okay, now Bharti Airtel. Bharti Airtel is in sideways only. And now it is like showing like laggard kind of move, but at the same time it is not looking that much bearish. But yes, if market will fall, so obviously this Bharti Airtel will fall. But at the same time, I'm expecting that it will not fall that much actually. So it is in sideways, no doubt at all. If something bad thing happen in market, then only Bharti Airtel will react negatively. Otherwise, it remains sideways with 2, 3, 4, 5%, 5, 6% here and there. That's it at current juncture. Okay. Now IEX. So IEX is in correction mode only. If I talk about 1 minute, let's move on this market Smith chart. Yes. So it has already breached all these moving averages. It has breached 200 moving average and other key moving averages also. Now it is forming a lower top, lower bottom formation. So I can say that it is not looking attractive, even though fundamentals are not changed. Fundamental EPS strength and other things are looking quite good, but at the same time, price structure is not looking that much attractive. It has reached 200 DMA and other key moving averages. Momentums are also deteriorating on daily and weekly chart. So I can say that it will remain further. So I would suggest someone or everyone to all of you that at least wait for another 2 to 4 weeks. Then only picture would be clear whether we should take entry or not in this particular index. That is Bharti Airtel. Now another is Hindalco. Hindalco, as when I was discussing about metals and everything. So metal is looking quite sideways with negative bias. And further this, if I talk about Hindalco, so it has already breached a 200 day moving average. But slope of this, all these moving averages except 50 DMA is upward sloping only. And if I talk about momentum and everything, so momentum on weekly chart, momentum on monthly chart is showing not that much correction, but momentum on daily and weekly chart also suggests that some kind of sideways with correction with sideways. So it will remain traded. If someone is looking to buy, so then I would suggest them to uh, uh, wait and watch for next at least 2 to 4 weeks. Then only picture would be clear and we can take first entry. Meanwhile, it is not looking to buy at current level. Okay. Now let's talk Tata Steel. Tata Steel purely in sideways. As per O'Neill methodology, it is in the formation of space for with handle formation. But let's say what will happen if market will goes into correction, then obviously metal will also go into correction. And in such case, Tata stock will also correct. So I am not denying, but at the same time, it is not looking that much better at current juncture. If someone is interested to buy in this particular index, so then one can draw a trend line. Let me draw a trend line for you in Tata Steel. One can draw a trend line here. Here if once this particular stock will give trend line above this particular trend line, that is around 1360 or 1370, above that one can buy with stop loss of around tighter stop loss would be 1240. So if someone is able to manage risk, so one can take position in this particular stock. But at the same time, I would like to suggest from my side that it is better to do not take position in such type of market like volatile market nowadays, because now scenario has changed. If you buy on breakout, so most probably even we are also struggling and facing from the last 1 or 2 weeks in TraderSmith that we are heading stock in when stock is breakout like divis level and everything, and now after a few days only it start giving up, or it lost its momentum or breakout momentum. So in my opinion, I would say, but anything can be happen in the market, but at least this meanwhile it is looking sideways only. Now Tata Steel. Rai, would you like to take few queries then?
Yeah, sure. I think someone has asked about Uflex. So if you look at the chart of Uflex, after breakout, the stock has actually accelerated upside, and it has also hit the high at 719 on 11th April, but after that it is acting in a volatile manner, and the stock has witnessed profit booking. So I think this is not the right time to buy, because the stock may go further down from here, because overall market sentiment is also negative and the stock is also trying to accelerate toward downside. So there is no point in buying those stock which is trying to go in a downside zone. Then if flex has happened, Dalmia Bharat. Yeah, Bharat Sugar. So this is the chart of Dalmia Bharat, uh, again the same story. Yeah, the stock has hit the high at 559, and then again profit booking has happened. It was trading in the sideways from long time. We can say that from 15th April till 22nd of April, it was trading in the sideways. Then again we have seen a downside movement has accelerated, and now the stock is trading near its 200 EMA. So 200 DMA, which is just it is just away from 200 DMA by 6%. So it may try to touch its 200 DMA, but in today's trading session, we have seen some bounce back has happened, and it has gained around 3.78%. So if this bounce back continues and stock is opening on positive note, that then again we can think of taking the new position. Otherwise, we should wait and watch how the stock is behaving. Maybe it can hit its 200 DMA, and if overall market sentiment turns negative more from here, then obviously it will breach its 200 DMA as well. So let's see how it's reacting on Monday. Sorry, on Friday.
One thing I want to add about this
Yeah,
Dalmia Bharat.
sure.
The
Yeah.
overall sector is in bullish, no doubt at all. This all sugar pack. But only if I talk about Dalmia Sugar point of view, so there is a level of 480. Unless and until it is trading below 480, it will remain in sideways with negative bias. Once it will clear this 480 with good volume and start trending above that level, then we can say that the fresh uptrend is starting. Otherwise, after considering other factors like market and everything, I'm not expecting that it will cross so much easily this 480 level. And unless and until it is trading below 480, it will remain traded in sideways market. Please take Sun Pharma, right?
Okay. So Sun Pharma in the last three trading session, including today's trading session as well, we have seen profit booking, and the stock is trying to move in a downside. So I don't think it is viable to take the stock as of now. And if you look at the 100 DMA, which is just 1.28% near of the CMP. So maybe it will try to hit its 200 DMA, or maybe it will breach that, and maybe it can try to reach to its 200 DMA as well, which is around 6.45%. So as of now, it is not looking that much attractive to take the position. I think fresh bull call can be initiated once it is trying to break out above its 925 to 930 CMP. Then only it can we can take the new positions. What is
One
next?
more observation about the Sun Pharma. It was remained traded in consolidation for zone of this in 900 to 950 for almost 3 weeks, and then today it has give up and closed below that 900 level. So most probably it may fall further from here. And if I talk about levels point of view, if I talk about levels point of view, so maybe next coming few days it may fall toward 800 kind of level. So yes, there is a breakdown. I'm not denying for that, and it may fall further from here to 850 to 800 kind of levels.
Okay, the next one is Gokaldas Export. The stock has actually posted a decent earnings, and we have seen the impact as well. Actually, it was after breakout that was happened on the same day of you can say 31st of March. It has tried to break out on a consolidation consolidation breakout has happened on 31st of March, but on the same day the stock has breached, stock was failed to sustain the breakout level, and it has failed the breakout on the same day, you can say. And then we have seen that it was actually trying to trying to deteriorate, and but when the earnings came on 29th of April, the entire scenario has changed, and we have seen that higher high and higher low price structure formation on 29th, and then 2nd of the May, where the stock has gained on 13% on the single day intraday when the earnings has came, and then again the next day also it has gained around 15%. So I think the company has posted a decent earnings. So but the main reason as of now is the stock is 10% already it has gained 10% from the pivot level. So that is the point of concern as of now. If your loss appetite is good and you can try to bear the loss, and if your risk reward is matching your criteria, then I think you can take your call on this. Next is PI industry. So this is the daily chart of PI industry, and the stock is actually facing resistance towards this 200 EMA. After if you look at the chart, and especially on the 7th of the March, after the stock has hit the low at 23,151, then it has tried to reverse its trend, and it has gained almost you can say that it has reached up to 3,035. But after its recent high that is placed around 3,035, the stock has again started moving towards downside. Profit booking has again happened, and it has breached its 200 DMA level as well. So as of now, the overall chart is not looking that much attractive, and I would not suggest to buy that stock which is not looking in a bullish criteria, which is not falling in the bullish criteria. And then Nalco, I think someone is asking. Nalco, AI industry. This one second. Varroc or Adani Enterprise. Yes. Someone has asked about Adani Enterprise. So if you look at the chart of Adani Enterprise, overall sentiment is positive, or we can say that sentiment is quite bullish for Adani Enterprise. But the point of concern is that if you look at the last 1 week or 8 trading sessions, then a stock has actually witnessed some profit booking. So that is a point of worry. And as of now, the stock is trading above its all key moving averages, and 21 DMA, it is just 0.6% away. So once this 21 DMA is placed around 2234, then it might try to reach or touch its 50 DMA, which is 14% away from here. So that can be the concern. Again, if the stock is trying to bounce back from here on Friday session, then I think that will be the that we can think of taking the entry. But if it's breached its 221 DM, and then again I think that is not viable to take the call when it is breaching its 21 DMA. Mahindra and Mahindra. So this is the daily chart of Mahindra and Mahindra, and if you look at the past 6 trading sessions, the stock has witnessed profit booking, and it is closing on the negative note from 6 consecutive days. So that is obviously not a great sign, and we should not enter in such a stocks which is in the mode of profit booking, or which is in the mode of consolidation. So I think we should wait and watch till the stock is having some proper support, or if it is forming such certain base. And once base formation is taking place, then obviously there will be entry point. So as of now, I would suggest to wait and watch. for Mahindra and Mahindra. Then Rupa. So this is the chart of Rupa, and stock has actually broken out with cup with handle formation, and it has broken on 2nd of the May. But what has happened in two trading session? Actually, the stock has failed breakout, or it is too early to say whether the stock has failed breakout or not, because from the pivot level it is just 3% down. So it may happen that from here again it can bounce back and it can again give breakout, because the pivot level is placed around you can say that 540. So it may happens that it can reclaim its 540 level, which is the pivot zone, pivot level, and from then it can try to move upside. But once the breakout failure has happened, or once the breakout failure will happen, then obviously our stop loss will, according to the William O'Neill strategy, we can say that 8 to 10% is the ideal stop loss to safeguard your capital. So I think we need, and we need to wait for this. KPR mill. So KPR mill, this is the daily chart of KPR mill, and what is happening in KPR mill? The stock is in the consolidation phase, and this phase is the stock has been consolidating from a long time, or we can say that almost 72 days of consolidation. So almost 10 weeks of consolidation has happened, and when we are not sure that consolidation is over or not, and looking at the chart, obviously not, it is not over yet. So I think we need to wait for the breakout level here, and which is the 16% down from the pivot level, because the actual breakout level is pivot level is placed around 769. But if you want to take the aggressive call on this particular stock, then obviously 660 can be the ideal entry point, or somewhere around we can say that 660 or 665 can be the entry point. So if your risk reward ratio is fitting in that criteria, then I think you can take your call.
Actually, in KPR mill, to be precise, 675 is a level. Once it will cross and hold 675 rupees, then I can say that the trend is now going to change. Unless and
Yeah.
until it is not crossing and holding above 675, it will remain traded in sideways only. So 675, just keep watching 675. Once it will cross and hold above that one, get take position above that particular. That stop loss is another problem, but 675 is a level at current level. Let's take HDFC Bank, right?
Okay.
So it is a heavy weight. So HDFC Bank, if I talk about, it is trending above below all key moving averages. Chart formation is also not looking that much attractive, be it weekly or be it monthly. Trend is deteriorating, momentum is deteriorating on daily weekly chart also. So I can say that last time I have said, I think if I'm not wrong, that this which may fall up to 1200 kind of level. So meanwhile it is trending around 1350. So I would suggest first level is 1400. Meanwhile, today's closing price is, sorry, 1350 is a level. This today's closing price. In downside, it has already breached level of 1380 and 1400 kind of level. So unless and until it is trending below 1380, 1400 levels, it will remain traded in sideways only, or with positive, with negative bias, sorry. And slowly and gradually it will fall further from here. And yes, in downside, it has good support around 1200, 1250 level. And for long-term perspective, it would be the good buy. If I'm not wrong, it would be the HDFC Bank would be the good buy around 1200, 1250 kind of level. So I'm not denying for another 5-6% or 7% kind of correction in coming few days and weeks, because overall placement of this particular stock chart is not looking that much attractive. So if someone is looking for to take long-term position or mid to long-term position in HDFC Bank, so I would suggest to avoid, or one can take at least 30-40 or maximum 50% position only, and I would suggest them to add more stock around if it comes to 1200 rupees. Of course, but if I talk about trading point of view, for short-term trading point of view, so opportunity may arise on any particular day, opportunity may come, but at the same time, meanwhile, at current juncture, there is no short-term trading opportunity to explore on this particular chart that is just gives you that. Now,
What next?
it's Infi.
Okay, I am opening the chart for you.
Infosys. So Infosys is a major part of this IT pack or IT index. And last month there was a drastic fall happened in this Infosys stock, and I think if I'm not wrong, from 1900 to it has corrected to 1570. So around 20% fall happened in last month in this Infosys. And now, so after such kind of fall in a single month, I am not denying for some bounce back rally, but it is not looking attractive to take position in this IT stock. That is Infosys. So I would suggest to avoid it current picture. Now,
Someone is asking about DMart. Would you like to take that?
let's take Coal India and demand both. First, Coal India.
Coal India I have opened. Yeah.
So Coal India, see, Coal India is like there was a news of coal shortage and everything, and that is why it is showing some positive traction. And if I talk about technically, so technically still there is no negativity at all about Coal India. So, but if someone want to take fresh entry in this particular index, then there is a level, and that level is 198 to 200 level. Currently, today's closing price is around 185, 186. So I would say that there is a level, and that level is around 198, 200 level. Once it will cross and hold above that level, then I can say that the further upside cannot be denied, or it may gain further from here. So overall structure is not that much negative in Coal India. It may gain from here, but it is better to wait and watch to take fresh entry, because market is in bad shape. Once market correct further, or market may correct, I am saying. So once the correction happened, then after the market turn from there, at that time taking entry at that time in Coal India quite beneficial actually. So overall structure is not bad actually in Coal India, even though it is good, especially on high time frame chart, it is looking attractive Coal India. But meanwhile, it is not a right time to take entry. Now, if someone want to take entry in this Coal India, so there are two approaches. One approach is to take entry after breakout, and one entry to take entry or buy on dip strategy. So if someone wants to follow buy on dip strategy, then one can buy this particular stock around 175, 180 kind of range, with particular stop loss. Stop loss would be quite deeper actually. So in such case, stop loss would be around below 164, 164. And if someone wants to take fresh entry after breakout, so 200, around 198, 200 is a key level to watch for breakout purpose in this Coal India. Now next is DMart. From the last 2 months, it is trending in very tight range, around 200 days exponential moving average. Okay, and as such, if I talk about a price term, if I talk about gain or loss in price term, so there is from the last 2 or to almost 3 months actually, as such there is no major gain, or there is no major loss. But yes, trend is deteriorating, not denying for that. But after such kind of tight range, either side breakout may lead this particular stock in such direction. But after considering a lot of factors, I am not expecting that it will give fresh breakout in upside. But yes, but for short term, it may bounce back from here. That is around 4250 to 4300 kind of levels. But for that, proper stop loss management is needed to take entry in this particular stock. So I would suggest, once again, I would suggest to avoid it at current juncture for short term point of view. For long term point of view, as there is no entry level in this particular stock at current level, we need to wait to take fresh entry in the particular.
SRF next.
SRF is in sideways only. Yesterday, if I am not wrong, MSI has removed this particular stock because it has made this 8% stop loss criterion. Because of that, they had removed this particular stock from model portfolio. trend is now like a little bit deteriorating on weekly chart and monthly chart as well. So I'm not denying further correction. I'm expecting at least 10% kind of correction in next 1 or 2 months actually. So it may correct from here. At least 10% correction may happen in SRF as well in next 1 to 2 months and 3 months kind of thing. That is the bare minimum correction in my opinion. But for that, there is a level, and that level is 30. Today's closing price is 2400 around, and level was 2425. So it has already reached that level. So maybe slowly and gradually in next coming few days and weeks, it may fall toward 2200. So 200 fall cannot be denied from here in SRF.
Reddington.
Reddington is now trending below key moving averages, that is 200 day simple moving average as well as 200 days exponential moving average. Today it has just touched and closed around 200 days exponential moving average. So that is why I would like to say that this particular level, today's closing price, that is 144, is a key level. Once it will close below this particular level or start trending below this particular level, and that range is only 2 rupees only, 142 to 144. Once it will breach 142 in downside, then decisively I can say that the further correction may happen in the return. So if someone is holding this particular stock, just keep stop loss watching around 140, 142 in stock. If it will breach, then I would suggest to exit. If someone wants to take entry, then I would suggest to avoid. Do not take entry in this particular stock. That is right. Okay.
Gujarat Alkali.
Gujarat Alkali is in sideways only. Hard time frame chart suggests as such there is no negativity. It is already trending in uncharted territory. So it may remain buoyant, but yes, market will fall and some correction will happen in market. So some sideways correction, sideways kind of move cannot be denied. But otherwise, it is looking bounced. It is looking quite attractive. If someone is to take fresh entry, so stop loss would be quite deeper from here, almost more than 100 rupees stop loss. So after considering the risk reward, it is not advisable to take entry at current juncture. So it is better to wait and watch in this particular stock to take fresh entry. But if someone is holding this particular stock, so one can remain holding this particular stock and trial your stop loss according to market condition and according to trend in this particular stock. But at least I would not suggest anybody to take fresh entry in this particular. But at the same time, trend is not negative. Okay.
Next is Polycap.
Polycap sideways only, no doubt at all. And for bullish trend, it need to cross and hold above 100 rupees from here, that is 2550, 2550. Once it will cross and hold 2550, then only we would consider that a value breakout. Otherwise, it will remain traded in sideways. It is not looking that much bearish, but the stock may remain traded in sideways for coming at least for coming 2 weeks. Actually, it will remain. And once it will cross 2550, then I can say that the press bull trend is starting this particular stock.
Okay. Next is Sale. Steel Authority of India.
Now it has breached 100 rupees key level, and now it is trending below that particular level. So meanwhile, it is sideways with negative bias only. So it will remain 1 minute. Yes. So maybe downside 8500 is 85 rupees. 85 rupees is the level to watch in downside. Maybe it may fall to 85 rupees. So I would not suggest to anybody to buy this stuff. Let us sell.
Yes, Simon.
Which one?
Siemens.
Siemens. Today there was a very good move happened in all capital today only actually. In all capital goods space actually. Be it ABB, there was a good number report number reported by ABB, and that was stock gain more than 10%. And I think finally it was closed with gain of ABB. If I talk about ABB has closed with a gain of almost more than 10% actually. And if I talk about Siemens, Bhel, all this stock has reacted positively, all capital goods, almost all quality capital goods stock. And that is why Siemens has also reacted positively after taking support around 200 exponential moving average. So I am not denying that further bounce back. Bounce back may happen from here. If someone wants to, meanwhile, its current price is 2300. If someone is interested to take entry in this particular stock, so one can take an entry in this particular stock at current level with the stop loss of 2180 in Siemens actually. If some good thing will happen, then maybe stock it will give some return, some positive return to you. But but at the same time, please do not avoid stop loss that I have mentioned, that is 2180 in the answer. Now next is
Sona Comms.
Sona. Sonacom just it is holding about 200 days exponential moving average. Even today also just it has touched 200 exponential moving average, and it has taken almost 4-5 times support around 200 exponential moving average. So that is why 200 exponential moving average that is currently placed around 610. So to 610 is a key level to watch in this particular, or 610 is a key level to watch. So I can say roughly that once it will reach 600 kind of level and start trending below 600 kind of level, further fall may happen in this particular stock, that is Sonacom. So 600 is a key level, 610 is a key level to watch. Once it will breach below that level, then I can say that it will fall further from here. Once it will bounce back from here, so but at the same time, as such, it is showing sideways only. So maybe good gain, one cannot get good gain in this particular stock, but once it will be 600, so probability of getting downside another 10% is quite high in this particular stock. So Sonacom.
BSE. So may I take BSE?
Yes, please.
So BSE, this is the daily chart of BSE, and the stock is still 6% above from its pivot level, but the stock has corrected a lot after hitting its recent high, and that has happened on the 14th of the March, and from then actually it has tried to deteriorate in the downside, as we have seen profit booking. So if in this process, actually it got support around its 50 DMA on 28th of April, but again it was not able to sustain its support, and I think it has breached its 50 DMA also in today's trading session. So as of now, the stock is looking in the correction phase, or we can say that profit booking is happening in this particular stock. So I would not suggest to buy this particular stock as of now. And I would suggest rather to wait and watch for this, and once some base formation is happening, then I think and some reversal or some buying interest is happening in this stock, then I think a fresh entry can be taken. The next is Chambal Fertilizers.
Let's take CDSL, right?
CDSL.
Okay, take CDSL and Chambal both. Then we will take last two queries.
So this is the daily chart of CDSL, and we can see from the chart itself that the stock is actually deteriorating, and it is trying to move in the downside, and it is really hard to find the bottom. I think Pawan can identify it. And would you like to talk about this CDSL?
Stock has given breakout around 300 level in July, if I am not wrong, July 2020, and from 300 level to 1700 level, there was non-stop rally. So I can say that if I take at least a Fibonacci retracement of this whole rally, then Fibonacci retracement of this whole rally comes to around, and level wise also that comes to around at least 1100 or 1150 kind of level. So it is still 100 rupees away from there, and below 1100 I can say that it may have fall up to 1000 rupees. So maybe 1000 rupees around level this particular stock will settle down roughly, meanwhile at current scenario. I'm not saying that it will 100% settle down, but it may happen around 1000 level. So it is in falling mode. It may fall further from at least 15 to 20% from here. No doubt at all for that. Actually, it may fall.
Okay. Chambal.
Please take Chambal.
Chambal Fertilizers. So Chambal Fertilizers, it has already broken out with cup with handle formation, and it is just 2% away from the pivot level, 2% higher from the pivot level, and that is also in 20 days. So obviously there is no such a strong buying interest, and now the stock is moving in the sideways, and I think it is neither looking dull or neither looking so strong. So I think at least as of now, because after hitting its recent high at 516, the stock has started falling and profit booking has happened. So I think once this 1500 516, actually 516 level is again reclaimed, and if it is trying to hold and sustain above that level, then I think fresh bull call can be initiated. Else I think we need to wait and watch for this. Mangalore Chemicals.
Last question, then I will take one query, then we will
Okay.
wrap up.
Mangalore Chemical. This is the one. So Bangalore Chemical. So it has broken out with a long consolidation, we can say. And from this range, we can see from the 14th May till this 6th April 2022. From 14th May 2021 to 6th April 2022, that was a really long consolidation. And after that, this stock got broke out, and it has broken out from the consolidation base, and then it is now 6% higher from the pivot level in 18 days. And after hitting its recent high, that is on 22nd of April, now the stock is actually trying to move in the downside, or we can say that profit booking has happened. So profit booking is happening, I think. So I think again same applies here, that we need to wait and watch for this. And once this higher level that is placed around this one, which is placed around 125, after that it has fallen down. So 125 level is again reclaimed, and if it is sustaining above that level, then I think that will be the great entry for this particular stock. So please take one last question.
Okay. So someone is asking about, so do we exit from the portfolio or cut off losses? So say it is a very subjective matter. I cannot say clear cut that you should exit actually. Here we are discussing about market and the current scenario of market. Afterward, you have to take decision that what should I do? You have some faith on us, then you have to take accordingly. If not, or if you have some dilemma in your mind, you can reach back to us once again. So it is a very difficult answer to, in my opinion, actually, to say that whether. But I would suggest one thing actually. You can trail your stop loss, and that is the best policy to follow and best strategy to follow in market to remain invested in market in the right direction of the market. So I would suggest it's better to take a hardcore decision that whether I should exit or not. It's better to say, I would say that it's better to follow trailing stop loss policy or trailing stop loss strategy to hold your stocks. That if you are setting a stop loss, suppose let's take an example actually, and that example is that suppose let's take an example that I would exit any particular stock, be it Reliance or Infosys or TCS or any particular stock, once it will be 100 DMA or 50 DMA or 200 DMA, whatever strategy is suitable to you. So you can follow that that particular stop loss, trailing stop loss, and you can act according to that. Otherwise, it is very difficult to because we don't know what is the component of your portfolio. So unless and until we don't know, we can't comment directly that we should exit from all these particular things. So it's better to follow this trailing stop loss strategy for your portfolio. And I think it is applied to majority of the people. Anyone apply this particular strategy. Okay. So thanks for attending this session. I think you have enjoyed. I hope you all have enjoyed and good, and you all have got good insight about market and current scenario of the market. Okay, thank you. Let's meet once again in next week in another Bazar Pe Charcha episode. Thank you.